let's go.
We're on air now.
Come on, let's go, baby.
You should probably intro it now.
What up, Chip Chaps and Chip Chap Chat? What episode are we on?
87.
87. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you? I can't. It's been so
I can't
many
either, man. We're so close to 100 now at this point.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's Nannerberry Beans Garbanzo situation. Let me save this file, see, so I can close it.
Yeah. So how's your week been?
The same.
Same on.
Just nothing crazy going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird. It's like we don't really live very super exciting lives.
Yeah, I guess not.
Stuff happens.
We went to a park.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very nice park. There was a beach there. We'd never been there before. So that was cool. Had some Taco Bell. Watched some wrestling. We watched Backlash on Sunday.
Yes, Backlash was on Sunday. That was actually quite good. The NXT event was actually quite good too.
I didn't watch it. But Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, dude. Actually, dude, you watched Raw already, right?
I did.
We didn't talk about that yet. What'd you think of it?
Fine.
I thought it was a good episode. I think Raw's getting better.
Do you?
I do. I really do. I think either it's getting better or I'm kind of caring more about what's going on.
Right. Well, a lot of the new faces definitely help with that. I don't know. What did you think of the Drifter's debut?
I thought it was hilarious. I think his character is great because it's funny.
It was a shame to me that they booed him so hard while he was singing.
Oh no, that's normal, dude.
I get it. But it
sucks.
Necessary. He wasn't even nearly close to as garbage as fucking Simon Gotch or whatever.
You hate Simon Gotch. No. The Drifter is actually.
I hate him. He's just not a good singer.
You hate him. It's fine.
I like his Van Gogh pants.
Who's Van Gogh pants?
Simon Gotch.
He's got Van Gogh pants.
What's the one's name? I mix their fucking names up. Aiden English, is that the one?
Yeah. Simon Gotch is the one that's out.
Okay, yeah, they're the same person to me. So yeah,
they're not the
English.
Same person.
I like his Van Gogh pants.
What's a Van Gogh pants?
He didn't you see him fight or whatever? He had
I did.
His pants looked like Starry Night, the painting.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean by Van Gogh pants.
Yeah. Trying to make him, they were calling him the artist before they started calling Shinsuke that.
Oh, is Shinsuke the artist? I thought he's the rock star.
They've been calling him the artist, Shinsuke Nakamura, lately.
Really? Because I know on SmackDown, which you've not watched yet.
I have. Not this SmackDown, but I watched the last one, and I watched
this one. They call him the rock star, I think. What's up with your connection, dude?
Shit moving.
What happened?
Oh, you froze up for a minute on my screen.
What was the last thing you caught?
Can't see it moving. You cut out for a second. Anyway, he seems alright to me. The Shinsuke stuff, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily blown away by that match, but
Royce, your mic is robotic again.
What?
Your mic is robotic again. Sorry, folks, we'll just fix these little issues. We had these issues earlier. Switched his mic, changed it back, and it was working, as you can hear, but now it's kind of doing this funky thing again, so give us a little bit and he'll get that.
on your end while I figure it out.
All right. Yeah, no. He's known as a rock star now in SmackDown, so it was pretty good. But if we're going to talk about what happened in my week, no, I'm working on stuff which you can't talk about, and it's annoying. So just know that I'm still drawing stuff, and the week's been just filled with work. Good work, but work. Because of that, though, it's delayed Random Views Volume 2 still, which is annoying, but what am I supposed to do about that? But that'll get started soon. We've thrown the script to the editor, and he's going to go review it so that once that's good, I can begin. I'll most likely start working on that one during the convention season. So on and off during convention season, but that should be good. Royce, how's it on your end now?
I'm still working it out. I can hear you, okay, but I'm still working it out. I think it's Chrome, man.
Is it Chrome?
So,
how many browsers do you have open?
5.
Only 5 browsers. How many tabs in each browser?
No, not 5 browsers. One browser with 5 windows in it.
Okay.
I've got the notes and 2 references and then pictures of the Predator.
Switch back to your webcam mic and see what happens, and then switch back, because we did that last time and it worked well.
Webcam mic. I'm talking in that.
All right, it's working now. So we'll use this one for now again.
And then when I switch back.
You're good now.
All right. Weird.
Cool. That's bizarre.
So anyway.
That's bizarre.
Aiden English. That guy sucks. Anyway, next thing.
You don't like him. Yeah, you don't like him. What was it? It was the last one. Was it Backlash? Was it the last one?
Yeah, that was the one on Sunday.
Okay. That was the recent one. No, I liked it. It was good. SmackDown was good this week. Raw was also really good too. But it's just hard though, because I've been telling you, right? The New Japan, their Best of Super Juniors just started.
Right, their cruiserweight thing.
Yeah, and it's been so bloody good.
I believe it.
Why? And it makes me more annoyed at how the 205 Live is being handled in WWE. Because
like they're not doing enough with it, or
they're just not. It's like they don't care about them. They kind of just like the whatever extras. Because the way the cruiserweight division is handled in New Japan, it's as important as everything else.
Right.
Like the fact that this whole tournament revolves around them is saying a lot about how much that division means to them and stuff. And it's a shame, because the talent that they have in the 205 Live is pretty legit. It's just that, they're just really not doing much with them.
I think that the show would be better served if they approached it like they approached the Cruiserweight Classic and put them in a smaller venue that's consistent, can build up like a passionate audience, because those matches, even though they happen in smaller venues, consistently felt more exciting and more like clutch the situation. So I think it would be better if they did it like that. I think WWE needs to be the only show that goes around like that, and then either that, or I think they need to get rid of main event and superstars and just have 205 Live be the opener, or the pre-show for Raw, and I think they should do a similar show to 205, but with all the girls from the women's championship.
Dude, I'm looking forward to that tournament, man.
Right, I am too, but I think they should do the same thing with 205 Live and just get a full roster of girls and devote their own give them their own show that's devoted to the girls, because the girls don't get enough to do. So every episode They go, let's stick all 6 of them in the ring for no reason to have some pointless fucking storyline, and then it'll all lead to 2 of them fighting or all 6 of them fighting.
You just predicted the whole one.
That's all.
Let's have 2 minor feuds where they, for some reason, the whole division of that region, which is like 6 of them, like you say, because there's like 6 on each.
Yeah.
Let's just have a major brawl that some stuff happens so that it leads up to the next pay-per-view where 2 of them fight for a title and the other 2 just fight. Whereas 2 do nothing else. It's just
because it leads to a bunch of them not getting used or only getting used in large fight situations. Like, what the fuck are they ever realistically going to give Tamina a singles push? She is destined to be part of a faction for the rest of her career until she retires.
She's a faction / jobber.
Right, when she could easily be what Nia Jax is on SmackDown.
Essentially, that's what she's supposed to be, I feel.
She's supposed to be, but because she's always in a faction, she's not seen as strong as that. If you see what they did with Nia Jax, they were having her crush entire groups of them by herself, and they were terrified of her. Whereas Tamina, she's just the background, like, I'm the big one.
Yeah, I'm the biggest one of the lot.
I'm the big one out of the rest of us, right? All my friends. That's her entire character, man. She doesn't do anything else. And I don't think that it's because she's not capable. They're just not doing anything with her.
Shame.
But maybe after that tournament thing happens, we'll get something.
But then, like, I almost fear that. All right, do you reckon what they'll result in with the tournament is that they'll just basically make a whole new division where it's separate from...
That's what I want to happen. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but that's what I want to
So
happen.
all the women, as in including all the ones in the main roster, they all become part of this women's division. That's specifically a women's show.
I don't think all of them, but I think that they should be allowed to participate in that show whenever they feel like because they're the top notch of it. But I think that they could easily have certain ones move over there and really kind of float that show at the beginning. Like if they made Sasha the champion of this new like women's division that has its own show or whatever, that would be nanners. Like people would jump over to see that, especially if it's a dedicated show where they can really get some storylines other than we're all standing in a line and we don't like you, so we're the bad guys.
And you know that Charlotte's gonna win because she's the freaking whatever. Right. She's the queen.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it seems like a waste. It seems silly what they do.
All I know is that I just hope, like, I know I'm gonna enjoy that tournament, the women's tournament.
Yeah.
That, like, for some reason, their tournaments they handle those special one-off tournaments really well. Like the Cruiserweight was excellent. The UK one, which actually I forgot that they have a UK special that's up on the network, which I haven't checked out yet.
Yeah, but there's a few specials I haven't checked out. That
and I want to because I like the way those things are produced. For some reason, they feel like important events. If that made sense,
right?
Like in Backlash, that was the last one again, right? I keep forgetting. Is it Backlash?
Yeah. Yep.
I really enjoyed the UK match there. That was like one of my favorite matches of that evening, I feel.
I don't even remember the UK match.
You don't remember it? It was really good.
Don't even remember it, dude.
JR was commenting.
What?
Do you not remember?
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, did you just not see that match at all?
I don't remember it. If it did happen, I don't remember.
JR was on commentary.
For Backlash?
Yeah. I think it was. If I'm tripping, I don't think I'm tripping.
Maybe not, but I just don't remember it at all. Whatever that was.
You missed out on one of the best matches of, like, people are saying that was like match of the evening.
Maybe I just was like, people I don't know, not paying attention. I don't know.
Such a shame. You missed out. That was excellent.
I feel like I would have automatically started paying attention if I heard or saw JR, but I definitely don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure that was the match. I could be horribly mistaken. It wouldn't be the first time, but I'm pretty sure that happened. That was excellent, and usually they handle those tournaments really well. So I don't know, it was a shame, but again, the women's tournament is going to be dope. I'm curious what they're going to do with them after the fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Because as much as you do with them, during the actual events, that's what you do with them after.
That's why, again, I'm like, give them their own fucking show. Let them have storylines. And, they turned around the Cruiserweight thing into 205 Live pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe that's something that's already in the works.
I don't know why 205 isn't. Do you feel that the people aren't really reacting well to 205 Live because the way 205 Live is being handled isn't done well?
I think it's because of how they schedule it on the card.
It should be the hype show.
Right. Like, those guys are all super fast, fun wrestlers. It should be the first thing that you see in the experience to get you pumped for what you're about to see.
Not after.
Right, not after. I just don't think that it's used. I don't think that they're used correctly.
So like in a pay-per-view, it should be almost considered like the pre-show.
Yeah, but like if the pre-show is dedicated to that, I think that you would see excitement grow for it, because then it's like officially this is where it goes. Whereas like right now with the Cruiserweight shit, it's just like randomly inserted in an episode. You can't get involved in the stories as much, really, because it's like its own thing inside the show. It's just like a weird side segment. It doesn't seem like part of it.
Yeah, it's almost like, and here's the intermission.
Right.
You can go to the restroom, you can go buy some more food, buy some t-shirts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Where these guys will, wrestle their hearts out for you.
Yep. But I think a lot of people are like, I don't even know who any of these people are.
That's what it would work way better as do it at the start.
And I think it would also be good if they moved over some wrestlers that were part of the main roster into Cruiserweight more than the ones they did. Because I'm like, didn't Sin Cara move over there or something, but then move back or some shit? I mean, the only real one we've got over there is Neville.
And he's what's the best part of Cruiserweight right now.
Right. And I think part of that is it was easy to invest in him because we know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, we already knew who he was. And then who he's become within the Cruiserweight has been like, wow.
Right. It's better.
We're finally seeing we're finally seeing what Neville would have been capable of in the main roster if they gave him a shot.
Right, exactly.
Which is a shame because it's like people who clearly followed him from NXT already knew that.
Right.
It's just that seeing it in a larger scale, it's like, okay, he's capable of so much more.
Yeah. I'm glad they gave him a shot eventually and whatever.
I am too. I'm they're gonna eventually move it to like Austin areas and stuff, but
yeah, well, people seem to like him, so
yeah, he's a crowd fave, so it works out okay.
No foul.
No, it's not a big loss. Like it's still a gain for them.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's just because like they'll push him. It's not like they're gonna basically push Neville to the wayside.
Yeah,
he'll be the guy that's
they could have already passed him the title, and they chose not to keep building that story. So
that's true.
I think that they know what they're doing with those two at least.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, not related to wrestling. We're gonna get off wrestling for a bit. Did you see the leaked footage of the Inhumans?
I didn't.
There's a bunch of leaked
it.
footage that's popping up now.
Is it tired?
The only one that I saw was like super short clip. It was what's his face? Black Bolt.
Lockjaw. I just saw it.
And Lockjaw. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's hard. It's just him vorping into a street.
Yep.
So all I could get off of that was the teleporting effect is not what I
Well,
imagined it based on the comic books.
how did you imagine it based on the comics, though?
Whenever I've seen it in the books, like a huge like ball of light, like white and blue light is
Emitted and then
behind him whenever
yeah.
they teleport. Like whenever they're walking through it, it's like a big ass
Mhm.
light ball. So I was expecting something like, yeah, I guess,
like a big explosion and then just walking through it almost, right?
right. But it looked
Here it was almost
more
like,
but it was like they sucked in too.
that's
like
what
an
I thought as
extreme
well. It was
time.
almost like whoop.
It kind of reminded me of what it looks like when the ships arrive in warp speed in Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. That's essentially what they did, except it was them. It was
Right,
a
but it was
giant
people
dog.
instead of a big ship.
Yeah. And it just makes it look more odd.
Yeah, and because they showed us too much of the tube. Like when it happens in Star Wars, it's quick.
Or Star Trek.
You-
Yeah, it's
you-
like, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you see a real, like, they have that thing in Star Wars now. At least I remember it
Oh, that's right.
being
Yeah.
quite evident in like Rogue One, where
Mhm.
you're just sitting there in frame, and then you just see a whoop, 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 whoop,
Yep.
and the ships like pop up right in front of you, but they're stopped dead in their tracks. And it looked very similar to that, but
But
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
the
know why it
difference with
doesn't
this
work
one
as
was
well.
that it also wasn't like a straight tube, if that made sense. It looked like it kind of curved, and it just looked weird.
It looked cartoony. It was like it was like the Mask or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, just based on that, I don't really have an opinion.
Right. I don't know, man. Like that's the only thing I've seen so far, and there's supposedly like more screen grabs from the upcoming trailer that people like.
Also,
I don't know.
With just Black Bolt, without the mask on and shit, it just right now without seeing him do anything, he doesn't talk, so it just doesn't feel like Black Bolt to me right now, anyway. But you know,
it's just
maybe
some
they'll
dude.
show me something impressive. Yeah, he's just some dude. Because if he never speaks and he doesn't wear the cowl, what makes him Black Bolt?
Mm-hmm. Other than standing next to a giant dog.
Yeah,
but
other than he's got a big ass dog by him.
Anybody can stand next to a giant dog if they had a giant dog.
It's true. That is an important.
So that was. That is. I'm glad that they got a giant dog, though.
I am also glad. I'm glad that he didn't end up just being a big blue dog, like the set photos.
That would have been funnier, though.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what they had to stand next to, though. In the middle of the street, just a big blue plastic dog. Whatever it was.
Right.
It's like, this is... I'm getting paid to pretend. It's a job of an actor.
Yeah.
That must be weird. That's weird. That's great, though. Good on him.
It's what wrestlers do, too, man.
It is, and I love it.
Just play fighting.
Yeah, it's like we are playing a character. We get to pretend to hit each other. We are still definitely exerting a lot of energy, but it is all pretend.
I mean, I can't think of anything you could have told me that I would want to do more than that as a kid. Play fight and get paid hella for it? Yeah, man, that's my entire hobby.
I mean, as a kid, I never really considered I never thought about getting paid. But to be able to be like,
if someone suggested that to me as an option, as a job,
it's like, listen, you can do this for those jobs that people have when they're older. This could be your job.
Yeah.
We're like, what? No, this is a joke. You're lying to me. You're lies.
Sign me up right now, random guy.
It's like, who are you? What are you doing in my school? You're not a student. I shouldn't even be talking to you.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. But yeah, acting, I guess it's a thing. It is a thing.
What did you think of the Spidey trailers?
I want the movie now, dude.
Yeah, Kanoya was real upset by it. She was like, "They're showing you everything.
As much as
nothing's gonna be a surprise."
I think there's still a lot. I think there's still a lot we're not seeing, and that's a given.
Yeah.
We're seeing tops 3 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Tops of a 2+ hour film. There's a lot still. I'm hyped. I want to see it. I just want to see it. I want it to be good. I want to see it. The trailers are great. He makes a great Peter Parker. One of the trailers, I'm not sure which one, whether it was the American one or the international one. But I'm like, yeah, here we go. Going to school and stuff. You should have shown us this at the start and this by itself.
Right.
Like, cool. I mean, it's nice to let us know what's going on. And I'm assuming the order of the trailer also doesn't really help when it feels like, oh, this is the order of the film.
Right.
So that's never really a good idea to do, but what are you going to do at this point? I remember like watching older trailers from back in the day where they don't, either some of them, they would say exactly what this movie is.
Right.
Where you've got the narrator.
Whole fucking thing in the movie.
Yeah. We have the narrator basically telling you this movie is about so-and-so, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And by the end, she's
exactly.
Totally
is he going to win the girl? I'm like, what girl is there even? Now I know there's one involved. But now it's like, when you got, for some reason, I just prefer like a teaser trailer. Then again, like in my head, I kind of want more than that. Obviously, we all kind of do. But if I was already invested and I was already going to watch it anyways, I don't really need to see anything more. Technically, I could have gone without even watching this, but I was like, oh, snap, it's middle of the night. There's a new thing popped up. I'm just going to click on it.
Oh, yeah. Like, but I don't have any choice.
Yeah, you got no choice at this point. You're done.
If a Spidey thing comes out, I'm watching it. Even if my heart tells me don't do it, I'm going to do it because I want to know what the new Spidey thing is.
Mine's telling you no.
Like, please be good is all I want, man.
Yep, that's really it. Like, be good. Everyone's like, giving shit to like Sony because it's like, oh no, Sony. Did you watch the latest Sunday movies?
Well,
he did a movie
about the Spider-Man trailer.
It was, to be honest, he was talking about Venom. No, he was talking about the Spider-Man trailer, but he talked about Venom a lot.
I think I saw it, but I don't remember.
It was pretty funny. It was actually quite funny. But yeah, and he was like, just be good. Yeah. Like you've got, and he brought up a great point because it was like, you've done Spider-Man, you've done 5 Spider-Man movies, and it kind of just kept going downhill for the majority of what people think of him, in terms of like, they had the Tobey Maguire ones, which started well, and then the second one was excellent. The third one was like, what's going on? And then you rebooted that, and the first one was like, oh, it's a new version, but then people still hate the second one of that, the Amazing one.
Right.
I understand the hate.
We talked about that. And
yeah, we have.
I think it's one character in particular that ruins that whole thing.
Right. He was a cartoon. Yeah. But then it's like, and then Sony were like, oh, we didn't know what to do, so we ended up working with Marvel again, and in like 15 minutes in Civil War, you've automatically made him Spider-Man again. You've given us hope that this is what Spider-Man's going to be. And he's like saying, even though the trailers might still be deceiving, it still could be an amazing movie.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think that Marvel had more to do with it than Sony had to do with it.
Absolutely. And I don't really care who gets the credit or whatnot. Just be good in the end of it.
Right.
Just be good. Like it shouldn't be that difficult. You're all there.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
Just be good. But related to Spider-Man, what are your thoughts on the Sony news that Venom spin-off movie with Tom Hardy?
Well, I don't know, because I've heard conflicting things about the movie on whether or not or how much it will be involving Spider-Man. And it's, the general headline right now is that they're making a Spider-Man movie or a Spider-Man spin-off movie in this Venom thing that will have little to no connection to Spider-Man at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard that it will have a connection. It will just be a background connection. But in the second movie or whatever the follow-up is to that, there's
No, that's the second Spider-Man one?
The second Venom movie.
Oh, okay. Wow, they're already saying second Venom? The first one hasn't even been made and they're already saying second Venom.
I think it's more of a where can it go, not like it's already in production.
Goodness.
That
there's a potential of them collaborating.
Right. Because I think that there's a bit of a plan. What I think is happening, I don't have any I've not heard this anywhere, so don't quote me as fact. But what I think is happening
Don't never quote us as fact.
Right. I think that they are building the universe without Spider-Man so that they don't have to
rely on him,
include the MCU stuff, because whenever they include MCU stuff, Marvel gets a cut of that.
And they just want the full money. Oh goodness. Is this about financials in the end?
Well, to some degree, but that's what making these movies is all about in general for these companies. But what I think is happening, especially Sony, because they don't own the property, so they're not like, oh shit, we need to have the integrity of Spider-Man intact. I think they're like, we'll make it good because then people will keep coming to see them. But
what they realize that it'll be good if they were to actually give a shit.
Well, I think that they're trying to give a shit. They just don't know the material as well, which is why they had Marvel be involved now. But anyway, I think what they're doing is they're setting up this universe without Spider-Man so that when this contract goes up between Marvel and Sony for the solo Spider-Man movies, they'll already have an established universe that they can now pull Spider-Man into without necessarily having to involve any Marvel stuff anymore. Because they can go, now it's established, now everybody loves him. Then Tony Stark and them can go off and do whatever they want, and Spider-Man can now come back and be part of this whole situation. And if they're just going to wait out the contract, they could literally say that the Tom Holland Spider-Man that we're getting is the MCU Spider-Man, and when that contract is up, they could give us a new Spider-Man that's just part of this Sonyverse if they wanted to. So
I think they're making a mistake, man, at this point. I know it might be early for me to say that they're making a mistake, but we've seen what they've done already with Spider-Man, and I think they just
maybe they're learning something off of what they're doing right now.
Let's fucking hope so, man. You're definitely more optimistic than I.
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything to say otherwise.
Right.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen anything since they started working with Marvel to be like, okay, now they're losing me already. All they've said is Venom. I've not heard any official thing that it's not connected.
It just seems bizarre to not have a connection with Venom specifically, because his whole being relates to Spider-Man.
It does, but I just think if they're gonna do Eddie Brock Venom in this Agent Venom kind of thing, then I don't think that they do need Spider-Man necessarily, because that story didn't even involve Eddie Brock originally. It was Flash Thompson, and it was a military test thing where they could just literally bring Tom Hardy. They could start with a war scene, like him in Afghanistan or something, and he gets his legs fucked up, and then he gets introduced to a program later in life where they're like, try this thing out, and it gives him the use of his legs back, because that's what happened to Flash.
So basically you're giving Eddie Brock Flash's story now, which is fine, whatever.
Right, because look what they're doing with Flash Thompson. They've already got Flash Thompson in Homecoming, and he's clearly not going to be Agent Venom.
Nope.
I mean, maybe Marvel could surprise us and do something shocking and do something like that, but I just really don't see that shit happening. He'd have to go through too much to even get to that point. He's in high school now. We're going to see him go to war and fuck his legs up and shit. I just don't think that one's going to happen. But
will they even involve the Spider logo on his chest and stuff? And how would they even relate?
I think that they have to. They just have to have a white logo that has kind of arms coming off of it. It doesn't have to be arachnid shaped. It's an alien. It can look like fucking anything.
Yeah, that's true.
It could look like one of the chest burster things just splayed across his chest and white. As long as the rest of the suit is black, it's still going to look like Venom.
It just seems so weird to me why they like, oh, I don't know, whatever. Just be good. In the end, be good. I don't care. I'm done with it. Just fucking be good. That's all. That's all you got to do at this point. Be good. If you're going to change stuff, change stuff.
I prefer a Venom that can fight Spider-Man is my personal opinion on it.
Absolutely. But that's part of when I say be good. Don't change it to the point where I'm like, you're just using the name at this point. Do you remember that Steel movie from the 90s?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It'll be like that, somewhat. To a lesser extent, I guess. That was awful. But it could be that in a sense. Or like that Catwoman movie.
Right. I don't see that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't either, but like there's the potential of that happening. It's more of definitely a pessimistic look in things.
Right.
But it's not like I should be confident in what they're doing at this point.
For sure. I see what you mean, but I don't know. I know that Tom Hardy, a lot of people are all about Tom Hardy. I'm not necessarily a fanboy for him, but from what I understand about him, he seems like he gives a shit about the stuff he's involved in.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a good thing with this. Like, if anything,
so hopefully he saw something from that movie that is going to be pretty cool. But then again, people fucking hated Suicide Squad, and nobody knows what happened to that movie exactly. It's still a mystery on, was it always going to be garbage, or was there studio interference? We know that they cut together a weird trailer, or a weird movie with the trailer people. But other than that, we don't really know much about what happened. So Tom Hardy was supposed to be Rick Flag in that movie.
Yeah,
so clearly he saw something in that movie that was supposed to be pretty cool. So doesn't necessarily mean Venom is going to automatically be awesome. But it makes me curious about it. Curious about what he saw in it. And the only thing that I honestly don't really like about it is everybody keeps saying it's going to be like a horror thing, and that's I get what I can imagine.
Has Venom ever been a horror book?
I mean, not necessarily, but he's creepy looking. He's horrific looking.
Absolutely. If there's any character that could be turned into a horror type character, it'd be Venom.
All right. I just keep imagining
in the Spidey universe.
Todd McFarlane always talks about how he wanted to do like a creepy rated R Spawn movie.
Yes.
And it's all I keep thinking about that it's gonna be. Like, I just I don't know if I want that out of a Venom thing, but
because then, all right, say they do that, right? Say they make a creepy horror Venom.
Mm-hmm.
How will Spider-Man then fit into that when he just came off of whatever he's coming off of with the Marvel?
The weird thing about that to me is also that supposedly this shit is supposed to come out next year. So they've already had to have been like working on this shit to get it out that fast, because they got to start filming soon if this thing is supposed to come out next year. Mm-hmm. But it's also wonder yet again, like, so if he's not connected at all to the universe, then fine, whatever, it's nothing. But if he is connected to the universe, it's interesting to me that this movie is supposed to come out next year, the same year as Infinity War. And we've been talking about how it would make sense if he got that fucking symbiote in Infinity War. Right.
Yep.
And if
It would
the
make the most
next
sense.
thing that we're gonna see, the next thing we're gonna see in that same year is the Venom movie, because it's supposed to come out in October. I think Infinity War comes out in May.
It would make the most sense if they did it that way.
It could be a setup for this Venom thing. If it
It
is
should
that,
be
then that's cool.
Right. It should be a setup.
Right.
Like, it's almost like it's laid out for you right there. How are you not even noticing this as something that's a viable option?
Right.
And I'm sure they have, but it's almost like, oh, there's too much. It's too complicated. I'm like, why? Because you're worried about who's gonna get what money.
Right.
Is that really it?
That's important.
It is, I guess, but why? Why should that be the? And you know what's crazy about it, right? Is even if this Venom movie comes out and it's not really, source material, it's fairly far off. They don't really care, they don't really pay attention to that stuff. But if it makes them money, they're still gonna do more.
For sure. Look at all the fucking X-Men movies.
I'd rather not look at all the X-Men movies.
I was just saying, that if it makes money, they're gonna keep doing it.
That's just annoying, man.
I mean, people have been calling for them to reboot the Singerverse for a long ass time.
He needs to stop it, man. He needs to go away, do his own thing. Thank you for what you did for comic book movies, but let's have a fresh take on the X-Men now.
Right. Just
thank you
for a little bit.
Yeah, you can come back later on and put your stamp on it again.
I mean, he's doing the show. Let him do the show.
Yeah, go do the shows now. Do the shows and let someone else do the movies. It would have been great if Tim Miller was handling the films, but that's done.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, there's no news on that, so that sucks.
A damn shame is what that is.
It's almost it's crazy. And then they announce another Marvel film.
What up, Andrew Bishop? Ulysses Ramirez, how's it going, man?
Thank you for joining us, folks.
He said Tom Holland's going to be 25 when Sony gets him back. I mean,
that's fine.
They didn't lose him, though, is the thing.
Mm-hmm. You mean when they get him back fully? When he's fully with them? When he's only with them?
Right. And also, I mean, Tom Holland just signed a deal to be young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, which I don't know if that means he's going to be Nathan Drake for a young scene, and then he's going to be replaced by an older actor for the rest of it. Or
what if they actually did a thing where they just follow a young Nathan Drake and they watch him grow?
Right. I'm saying they could do that. I'm just saying it's weird if they're doing that in Spider-Man and in this. So part of me is I wonder if they are just giving Tom Holland is the MCU Spider-Man, and then they've got other plans later. I'm curious. I'm quite curious, man. There's never been any kind of deal like this before, so
Right. It is kind of unprecedented.
Yeah.
At this point. Just be good, man. That's all.
It sounds simple.
It does. It's on paper. I'm sure it's probably more complicated on paper.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing all the numbers. Because that's what's complicating things is the numbers. Yeah, but then who's gonna finance and then the money and.
But you saw the two trailers, both the international one and the domestic one, or whatever they call it. What did you think of the trailer itself, the actual content?
I want to watch it.
I know that, but I mean more specifically what you saw.
What? I enjoyed what I saw. I like I like the school stuff that they did show. I like Peter here. He's good. He's very Peter. He feels like a Peter Parker, a younger Peter Parker. And they actually feel younger. Not just like Tobey Maguire supposed to be in high school young, which wasn't young. They actually feel like they are they're still attending school and stuff. Keaton looked great. The scenes with it, he was cleaning, basically cleaning up all the rubble and stuff, you know, the weaponry and stuff. That was
Yeah.
neat. That was really great to see. He looked like he fit in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. And
Like
I'm very curious what Donald Glover's part of it is.
Right, because then the scene that he was talking to Spidey. Spoilers for the trailer, by the way. If you haven't seen the trailer, you should probably watch the trailer. But like, what's the deal there? Like, wait, what is his character?
Right,
what is his character?
It's hard to tell because I think he said you got to get better at this part of the job. So he still easily could be a criminal that he's stopping, and he's probably just rambling or something.
Yeah.
But
or it could be something completely what we're not expecting.
It could be. I mean, it could be. I can't. I don't know. From what I've seen of what Donald Glover is doing, there was a lot of speculation that maybe he was the Prowler, and they were going to make his story connected to like an eventual Miles thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly don't think they've got Miles on the radar in that way. I mean, they could surprise me.
Also, I forgot to put this in the notes because there's a licensing convention going on right now in Vegas, and they already showed the poster for the animated Spider-Man movie.
Oh, did it look cool?
It was a logo. It looked like let me see if I can load it up. It was like spray painted, and it looked neat. But all it was the logo.
The style of it is.
Yeah, well, there's no images of the actual Spider-Man. It was just of the logo.
Yeah.
Let me grab it up for you right now. But I was like, interesting.
I'm curious.
There you go. Copy the image address. Are you on the chat right now?
Yeah.
So you can see the YouTube chat. I'm gonna paste it in there.
Andrew Bishop says it'll probably be like the Arrow show, constant flashbacks.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Just hopefully the flashback. Anyway, check the link. Everybody is all you can go. You can all go see the link.
Okay. Interesting.
It just says winner 2018, the animated movie.
Interesting that there's blue in it.
Right.
He doesn't have any blue in his suit traditionally, so I wonder if they're redesigning his outfit.
I don't know, but that's
curious.
part of the licensing con. And
it's not the first time they've done graffiti for Spider-Man. They did that for the first Amazing Spider-Man.
But I was like, neat. That's something.
That's cool.
So, regarding the character and the thing about the good thing for me, anyways, that I'm taking from the Spider-Man trailers, the Homecoming trailers, is that there's still so many left. There's still so many surprises left. I know people are like, oh, I'm being ruined. Like they're spoiling everything. I'm like, they might be spoiling aspects of it, but I know. Like, look at Guardians, man. Look at Guardians 2. I know that one's all Marvel. It's different. But
I'm also saying, like, there's been 3 trailers already.
Yep.
If you don't want to see anything new,
don't watch any more trailers.
Or just stop watching the shit that comes out.
And I know they go, but it shouldn't be my choice. It shouldn't it's not up to me to not watch them.
It is.
It should be how they're produced. That's absolutely no. I agree with you because people are like, oh, you should have just made the trailers better.
Just don't watch any more of them if you're tripping like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got no issue. I'm excited. I think every trailer I'm seeing, even though I don't need to see any more trailers, technically, I said this already before. I don't need to see any new trailers, but I've been watching because they're there and they look great. But when I watch them, I'm not like, oh, great, they spoiled that shit for me. I'm like, nah, I'm actually more excited still.
Right. I don't know. It doesn't spoil anything for me personally, just because I know I'm seeing the shit, so it's not like, it's not like any new content is going to be ruined if I had seen part of it in that trailer. I just can't imagine they're going to be like, and this is what happened. Like, I don't think we're going to be getting the who is Michelle answer. I don't think
in the trailer.
In the trailer,
no.
And I think that's more of a, as much as I'd like to know the mystery,
who she is.
Yeah, because I think at this point it's just because it's weird to me how little they're saying about it. And I feel like if it's end up being nothing and she's just Michelle, it's gonna be fine. But it's also gonna be like, why all the fucking mystery? Just say her name is Michelle.
But they have been saying her name is just Michelle. That's the difference. They're not like saying, "Oh, she's Michelle, but she's a big mystery."
I mean, I feel like they kind of have though, because they're not. They never call her by Michelle in the trailers or anything.
They never say her name in the trailer.
Yeah, and in a lot of the information that we find, they don't say anything about her except for that, she's a book nerd or whatever. We don't get any of her backstory. So basically, I'm like,
I'm fine with that, man. She ain't the main character.
Which I get, which is fine, but all of the like promotion stuff that they do for Spider-Man so far are all the like guest appearances on shit or interviews. It's always them two. It's not him with the girl that he goes to kiss in the trailer. It's not her. So to me, I'm like, Zendaya's character is more important than that girl he's trying to kiss in the trailer.
But she's also a bigger actress than the other one.
Maybe, but I'm saying it wouldn't matter how big of another actress.
I get you.
When Kristen Dunst was MJ, she's the one that's going on the interviews because she's the person you're going to be interested in seeing the main character.
She's the main female lead.
Yeah. So, to me, maybe she's not Mary Jane, but she's something. There's a reason they're not saying who the fuck she is.
Oh, yeah, of course she's a somebody.
But I'm like, if it's not an MJ reveal, what the fuck what is the point of it? What is it?
I don't know, man. All I know is we'll find out. That's what I didn't care. That's why I didn't give a crap about what they're doing regarding her and stuff. Like, cool. If she's Mary Jane, and I think the fine thing that I've got right now is that even if she's MJ, cool, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Right,
what are you gonna do with it?
I don't care if it is MJ.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if it isn't, I want to know what all the fucking hoopla is.
But that's the thing. Like, even if say she isn't MJ, and your question is like, what's with all the hoopla? Maybe we'll find out what the big deal is with the character in the film, anyways.
Right. I know that is the case.
Obviously,
I know that is the case.
Obviously, if there is no big deal in the end of the film, you're like, wait, so
that's what I'm saying. If it ends up being nothing, I'm gonna be fucking annoyed that they made it. It's gonna be like,
that was dumb, but I'm not gonna be like, Sony.
Like if we go see Star Wars fucking 8 or whatever, and they're like, and Rey's parents were a guy named Bob and a lady named Regina.
Bob and Regina. They're gonna be like big ass characters.
No, they're nothing. You never see them again. They were just people. I'm like, yeah, that's fine story-wise. But I'm like, then why the fuck all the mystery? If it's nothing, why do we
that could also be part of the story. And I feel that with that, in terms of that, it's not even the film that's hyping up who her lineage is. It's everybody else watching the film.
The film did it too, dude.
They didn't go, oh, it's a mystery who your parents are. They never even...
No, they did though, because when they had the whole thing with her, if there was no mystery who her parents were, then in their flashback when they flew off, you would have seen who they were, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. Instead, you just see like hands or whatever.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean saying that, but it could also be the fact that it's like they're showing the mystery because they find out in the movie they weren't even that important.
Then there was literally no reason to spend any time on that.
But that's also why it's like the reason why they kept it a mystery from her in the first film was that didn't matter in the long run.
That's totally fine. But if that is the case, then they should have gotten to that conclusion in the first movie.
But she just met up with Luke, and it could be Luke that tells her this, man. It's like, oh, lineage isn't important with you in this case.
He's like, I'm glad you got here. Your dad was Bob.
Your dad was Bob. Regina didn't want to leave you there. But Bob was like, oh, I insist. They're going to kill us.
That's not it, dude.
I'm okay with it because I don't care. That's the difference.
It's fine. It's fine to not care. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't like being teased with mysteries that won't be for any good conclusion.
Payoff is so damn important. Don't be like, They'd be dangling stuff in front of us and be like, "Oh, by the way, this was nothing. I was dangling nothing in front of you."
Yeah, it'd be
Payoff? What payoff?
It's not good. It's not good
Go
storytelling.
home wondering why we wasted your time.
Right. So she's, to me at this point, if she was gonna be Bob and Regina's kid, they had to tell me in episode 7. If she's
Bob and Regina.
anything else,
that is the most.
Yeah,
that is the most normal names in all of Star Wars. I love it. We should draw them.
Bob and Regina. They
Bob
just
and
gotta be
Regina.
normal dudes. Like
They're
the
just
only
normal
people in
guys,
Star
yeah.
Wars universe that have like T-shirts.
Mm-hmm. They were office workers. I'm like, what?
Right,
What's an office worker? There was Bob and Regina.
That's Bob and Regina, man. Everybody knew them.
Yeah, everybody knows them. That's probably why they were like celebrity. Are there celebrities in the Star Wars universe?
Maz Kanata? Is Yoda a celebrity?
I don't know if he. I don't think he's considered a celebrity in the Star Wars universe.
I guess not. I don't know.
That's it. Like
Sure
that's
no. There's a Twi'lek girl who's like a singer. I remember hearing that.
But like, as in like what a celebrity is in our world right now, where people recognize her and shit. Because it seems like they've just got so much issues.
I think she's supposed to be like a pop star or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, I could be making that up completely, but
it doesn't matter. We just made up Bob and Regina.
We did, and they're the best Star Wars characters.
Yeah, maybe they're the celebrities of that world. That's why they couldn't. They had to hide Rey because they didn't want a powerful user to be in the limelight because she's the daughter of celebrities.
With their reality show schedule.
But like, they don't want her to be advertised essentially because Kylo could be watching this show and we're like, oh snap, it's her. Let's just grab her. She's power.
Yeah, but that was also another one of them things. Like, did Kylo even know who she was?
Maybe. We'll find out.
It didn't seem like he knew who she was. He was just like, I can tell there's something weird about you.
Yeah, she's more powerful than she read my mind. She knows I'm afraid.
Yeah, so, did you ever watch that movie again?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I like it. It's fun.
Is it on Netflix?
Oh, it's on Netflix for Australia.
I don't know if I have it on Netflix here.
You should check it on Netflix, see if it's there. I like it. It's a fun film.
I don't think I've seen it since
cinema.
Yeah.
Did you like it in the cinema?
I definitely didn't dislike it.
Like, is this something that you like? Is this a Star Wars? You know how people are like, oh, I grew up on Star Wars. That's why it's like we couldn't really fully get invested in the original because it's not like we watched it in the cinema. We grew up on that type of stuff. But is this something that you can actually?
I mean, I think that I will continue to watch them in the theater, but I don't know. As far as what you're talking about, I think Guardians is the closest thing I have to that.
I agree. I can watch like 7 of those movies.
Yeah.
If they continue with this quality, I'll be like, yeah, just keep it on, man.
Yeah, I imagine had I seen Guardians as a child,
as a kid, that would have been my Fifth Element, man.
Yeah.
At this point, it's bloody damn close.
Yeah, and I would have got more of the humor probably than I got in Fifth Element when I watched it the first time.
Right, there was a lot of stuff that was over my head. I was like, I don't know what.
Window and sexual humor and stuff, and I'm like, I don't understand any of that. I'm 6th grade.
A lot of what Ruby Rod was doing, I was like, what?
Hot.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, she's making me feel some stuff.
Yeah, I was like, for some reason, even the girls at McDonald's have to be models now. I don't know. I don't understand it, but sure.
Like, I don't know what they're wearing, but I'd never seen that in McDonald's. Macca's servers never looked like that. Although I like the whole like they're serving you from the actual logo. That's legit.
Yeah, that is pretty legit. Do you think they would have more traffic if that is what they were all required to look like?
Yeah. How do you get Macca's more?
McDonald's already has a lot of traffic.
They do.
But you think it would be elevated by hot waitresses?
It wouldn't hurt them. Although
Oh,
it,
yeah,
it probably
definitely
it probably
would.
could because of all the backlash that they'd get.
Right.
You know, that's honestly it at this point. It's just all the backlash that they'd get from it.
Yeah.
Oh, did that smudge? No, it didn't. That's good.
No smudging allowed.
No, I hate it all. So, what are your thoughts about this Zack Snyder situation?
That shit is bonkers, dude. That's the most bonkers shit that I have ever heard in comic book history. I think, as far as like movies and shit go,
Like the situation
firstly,
is so
super
shitty.
tragic for
I
him to
know,
have to deal with
freaking
this.
A.
That shit is garbage. There's way too much suicide happening in the news right now.
I mean, it's just not
in
cool,
the world
man.
in general. I just don't like. I feel like that shit. There's something wrong if that is the way it is. But you know, aside from that, it's fucking insane to me that they now, because of the moves that were made behind the scenes to get Whedon on Batgirl, and who knows how long they've even been talking about this before they finally came out and said anything.
Because you remember, like, yeah, that's true.
When they cast Affleck, they had that motherfucker on lock for a grip before any of us heard that it was him. So, you know, maybe they've known for a while. They said that she killed herself back in March. Yeah. So, you know, they've probably been trying to figure out
what they were going to do.
Right. Since then. So, I don't know. It's nanners though, dude, to get one of the directors of the director of the first Avengers movie, really the first two Avengers movies.
Yep.
That's a nanners move now to have him come in to finish the Justice League. That's fucking insane. You know, and they kept reiterating in the press that the movie was pretty much finished. These were just for some reshoot, pickup stuff,
reshoots and editing.
Right. So, you know, all that's fine if that's the case, or even if it isn't, whatever. But that's crazy big to have the director of the first two Avengers is now directing in some way the Justice League movie.
Essentially co-director at this point.
That is insane, dude.
He's going to be the co-director of this at this point.
I mean, I guess. I don't know how much he's co-directing.
Or whatever. He'll be part of under the director.
He'll be as much a part of that movie as the dudes that did John Wick were a part of Civil War.
I think he's, at this point, do you think he's more than a second unit?
No, because if he's just doing reshoots, that's what that is.
Basically. He would be second unit. And look what those John Wick guys did for Civil War.
Exactly. I mean, a lot can happen in those reshoots, and we already know Whedon. One of his strengths is banter between groups of people. So I imagine the kind of stuff
all the reshoots that he's doing
is he's adding personality and flavor to the movie. Who knows if the shit that we've already seen is not in some way touched by him? Who knows?
Yeah, that's
so true. You know, to me, it doesn't make me go, oh well, he's gonna save Justice League or whatever.
No.
You know, I think that I'm excited to see what the fuck it is, but I don't know, man. It's such a crazy big move.
It is. It's big.
Like I want to see a movie about
this, a documentary
someday.
I want to see a documentary about
what is happening right now between the Marvel studio. I want to see like from the inception of Kevin Feige taking over at Marvel and being like, this is what the universe is going to be, and then DC attempting to do it, and then I want to see a Monday Night Wars documentary series about these two behemoth companies.
How is that not a Netflix special?
I'm saying though, man, I want to see that shit. That would be amazing.
I'd watch it.
It'd be amazing. I'll see it right now.
But it's nuts, man. That situation.
What am I missing in here? Did we already discuss the Spider-Man International trailer? We did sort of. I tried to get Jeff to talk about what he saw, but all he would say is he wants it to be good.
Did you not see the trailer?
I did, but I wanted to talk about the content, like him getting the technology on his fingers.
Oh, then let's bloody talk about that. I thought, no. Let's talk about the details of it. I like it. I like what I saw. It
I
was
thought that
interesting, the suit and
him
everything.
recording all the vlogs and from the perspective of when he was there during
I
Civil
love
War,
that.
like
I
pointing
think
out things in the
that was
background.
excellent.
I thought all that stuff was great, except for, and I know it's such a small thing, it really shouldn't matter. But in the trailer, they show him like talking to the camera, and then he looks behind him as Ant-Man grows,
Yep.
and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go." But in the movie, they made it so quick, like he grew, and then Spider-Man was like, "Holy shit!" Like immediately
Yep.
reacting to it, not
Yep,
like
yep.
putting a camera away and then reacting to it or whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that's kind of iffy timing, but it was cool enough of a thing to put in it that, you know, I'm like, whatever. The only shot that looked bizarre to me in that is when he's talking to Happy
Backflip?
Hogan. Yeah, he does the backflip, and it looked like it was in reverse, kind of.
It
It was so
was, because
bizarre.
that's how I see it. I'm like, he did a forward flip that they just reversed, because the way he did everything, it was too
Yeah,
like a backflip.
it
You know,
was
you would start
unnatural looking.
exactly with the backflip. You wouldn't start in the hole.
Right,
It
he
was
just kind of
there.
like sucked backwards.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was like
um,
a lockjaw. It
right,
was
which
like
makes me
weird.
think it didn't necessarily have to be in reverse. He could have just been pulled by wires because that would make that unnatural flipping
That's true.
motion. But it was bizarre enough looking to where I'm like, that looked
Right.
like it was in
But
reverse. That was weird.
it wasn't in a part where I'm like, oh, that's wrong. This movie's gonna be dumb. You know,
Right,
it was just like,
right.
it was such a minor niggle.
Though I did notice watching it that they, remember when we were seeing like set photos of the movie and stuff, we were like,
Mhm.
the costume actually looks like it fits him like material. It's not as CG looking as it did in the Civil War movie. But then going back and looking at it, they've taken out all of that shit. They're like digitally smoothing him out.
I know, and I don't like it.
I don't like I understand it because of the technology that's supposed to be in the suit in the trailer, how it's supposed to like
Yeah,
vacuum form to him.
yeah, I get it.
So I get that you wouldn't see any of those wrinkles, but had they not introduced that bit of technology, it would have been nice to just see it look like a suit on him, because you can definitely feel that it's like not completely
Right.
natural every time.
Although
he's
I
there.
do like the whole vacuum form thing. I think that's actual
it's
neat.
a cool idea for sure.
Like it makes sense as to like it gives reason as to why it looks unnatural. It's because it is unnatural.
Right, and it's like
It's something that
automatically
we don't
kind of
know what it is.
cool because it's like the Marty McFly like lace up
Right.
sneakers
It
put
is,
on
yeah,
your whole body.
It's yep. Or it's his jacket,
Right.
the future jacket. But
So
I just seeing everything in the trailer, I'm just like, I just want to have fun with the film too.
right.
I think I'm gonna have fun with the film.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
confident
think
that
it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be fun.
enjoy it. I'm not too worried.
No. I think it's gonna
but
be.
the international trailer looked good to me. I like that they showed a bit more stuff going on with Osborn, or not Osborn, sorry, Toombs or whatever. But he just, the way that they're playing him, he very much feels like a goblin,
Osborn.
regardless of the fact that he's got a very different backstory. But when you're seeing him in motion and seeing how he's gonna fight Spider-Man, it feels very goblin still.
The more I see his suit design, I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit
Because
actually.
he has, it's like that oxygen mask type thing, and his jacket is a flight jacket.
Right.
I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think the wings look great. The more I see them, the more I like them.
How it's very different from Falcon.
Right. But it still looks like it would exist in the same
Exactly.
world.
Yep. That's why, like, this film feels like it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
If, you know,
for
technically,
sure.
it is a Marvel movie that's just going to be distributed by Sony.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. Just be good, man. Let me be excited walking out the cinema too.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
I'm already excited walking into it. I know that much. I just want to leave the film feeling like I did.
Still excited.
Yes. Or like, oh, I want the next film. I can't wait to see his next appearance. Like the same thing that I was basically feeling with the with Guardians 2. I'm like, oh, I love that movie. I can't wait to see what's next for him.
Yeah.
I just want that feeling. That's all. Same with this upcoming Wonder Woman film, man. This film is
Yeah,
out
for
next week.
Yep.
Next week. I just want to go out of it being like, oh, good. Oh, that I feel relieved.
Right.
I know it's such a weird thing to say. Like, oh, that was, feel good about that. I feel good
That was a
about
close
what's
one.
coming. That was very close. Like, like she was great in it. She was actually great in it.
All right. It still could be that.
I know. And the thing is, I want it to be that. I'm really like trying to exert as much positive as I can for this. But I want the positive to be, I want the effort. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want the purpose behind it to, be fulfilled in the end. Just be
Here's
good.
hoping.
I just want it to be good. I want to have a good time with it.
That one's pretty soon too, man. Only like another week and a half, 2 weeks.
A week for me, man. Wonder Woman.
Man.
Not next week.
Soon.
I still got to work out when I'm going to watch it. Can't wait. Should we go? What do we have after Wonder Woman? Spider-Man.
What? Yeah, Spider-Man's a month after that. And it's gonna be fucking great, hopefully. But anyway, you were actually gonna talk about a reboot.
Oh yes,
thing.
Reboots. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about it completely. The reason why I wrote it in because we were talking prior to streaming, and we're talking about Predator and how I'm looking forward to this upcoming Predator film.
Yeah.
And they've actually, in that licensing convention currently in Las Vegas, they have a couple of posters up for it. And the Predator design, it's still their classic Predator design. And the reason why I wrote reboots in the show notes is like, because it's a reboot of Predator, or in general, like reboots of something. Say, if they rebooted the Aliens franchise, and I know the Aliens have a specific look to them, but with a reboot, do you feel that they could or should reboot the way they looked also? Because, for example...
I think most of the time they do, but they've just not properly rebooted Alien or Predator before.
Well, is this Predator... It's supposed to be a reboot, though, this Predator.
It's a reboot. It's a reboot as far as it's all characters that we're not familiar with.
Okay,
but in terms of the property, it's still... But I don't think that it is erasing any other continuity. They were talking about Schwarzenegger being in it. He just didn't want to do it because it was a cameo.
Do you think it's harder to reboot something like that when the look is so ingrained into it? Like when they did, like I don't even know if the Terminator films are reboots at this point. I don't even know. But if they were,
Arnold's always in
right, they're supposed to be in line.
Like RoboCop, they changed what RoboCop looked like. But
okay, there we go. I like that. I like that new look. I know people didn't like it.
I thought that movie was fine, but I know a lot of people
like the movie too.
It.
I kind of wish they didn't kind of like that one. That one could have worked well as an R-rated film.
It could have, but it didn't need to be. Like
I don't think it needed to be.
The old movies were fucking ridiculous. Like the second movie, they get a fucking crackhead addicted to this crazy future drug, and they go, "Yeah, put that in a robot, totally gonna work out fine. He'll be our new police force."
Kane was awesome, though, dude.
He was awesome, but it was awesome
because it awesome.
It didn't make any fucking sense at all. It was still great, but it was not a logical decision in the least bit.
But in terms of reboots, like, do you feel that they should reboot the look entirely rather than just let's set it in a new place with new characters?
I think if you're gonna reboot it like RoboCop rebooted it, then change the look. I think that if you're rebooting it like they reboot these Predator movies, which is like not a reboot at all, but just this movie's unrelated to the other one, but it's still the same creature and same premise.
Because I feel that the Predator, the creature in general, could be rebooted visually without, like, you can take elements. Obviously, you'll have to take elements
Right.
because there's characteristics of the character which is so much ingrained into the character itself that if it was anything too far, it would just be too different.
Right.
You know. So I think the look could be slightly tweaked to make it look to be its own new thing, while still respecting what it was before, if that makes sense.
For sure. Like, I would love to see a rebooted Predator where they change his design up.
I'm tempted to just draw him for fun.
I don't think that I would like to see them change his design up, and it's like the bug thing that they were gonna have it be before Predator was Predator. Like,
oh, that weird. Yeah, no.
right. Like, I don't want to see a reboot of it where the design is not at all the Predator. Like, I think there's a way to redesign it without fundamentally changing everything about it. Like, sure, you know that the Predator is ugly. He's got an ugly mouth, and he's got like hangy bits on him. But I feel like that's kind of all you need to really still make it the Predator. If you're just thinking about Hunter from space, there's a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah. It's tricky, man. The Predator look is so cool.
Predator look is cool, but I feel like there's still ways that you can adapt that look without losing what Predator is.
It's tricky.
And still make it different.
It's tricky.
Especially because they wear armor. I don't think any of that armor has to look like anything.
I think the armor is what could be changed.
I think you could change the inside of it too. Like, if you're just thinking he's got fucked up mandibles.
That's it. Keep the
That's
mandibles,
all you
keep
really
the
need.
hair. Yeah. Really. Like Terminator, if they did a reboot, how would you change the way the Terminators looked?
I think if I was gonna make it, I'd make a series of super yoked up dudes, because that was what they established is they're big yoked up dudes, and I would make them show up in multiples in human form. Like, whenever you see Terminator, other than this new version, which was not very good.
No.
It was all right. It just wasn't like amazing or anything.
Yeah.
I think that if you had seen multiples of the Schwarzenegger Terminator going around doing shit at the same time, it amplifies that these things are mass-produced machines. Whereas we only saw one, it looks like Schwarzenegger. So you're like, what do the other Terminators look like? Apparently, if it's a liquidy one, it looks like this random fucking schmo that's a cop or whatever. He's not yoked up. You don't have to be yoked up if you're a liquid guy. I just don't, there wasn't any rule about that. So I'd get like all the Expendables, big yoked up dudes like that. They're all Terminators, a gang of Terminators.
Yeah. That's, I don't know, reboots. What's the thing? Like they're rebooting the what is it? Charlie's Angels.
Right. I heard Elizabeth Banks or something.
I don't know why. Why?
I don't know. They tried it on TV and it didn't work. I don't know why they're like, but a new movie.
Just make Danger Girl.
Yeah, just make Danger Girl. Why not?
Yeah, it's essentially they go, oh, I'm tired of reboots, right? But then like original stuff don't do well either. So what then? What do we do?
Right.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Do we just pick something from a television show, make that into a film? Pick some, like adapt a book? We tried that. That one does okay, depending on the book. Let's adapt comics. Comics is a current thing that's doing well. There's so many comics out there. Let's pick a comic and do that. Either television or movie.
Has been optioned before, from what I have heard.
It's like a female James Bond type Indiana Jones deal. Do that. I think it'll be sweet.
Yeah, I think it could be. I don't know what the holdup is. They were gonna do an animated series at one point. I remember.
I'd watch that too. I'd watch a Crimson though, man. That would be sick.
Yeah,
there's some of that vampire stuff.
Crimson needs to be a movie, dude. It works so well as a movie.
I would love that movie too.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a great film.
I agree. I a grizzle train, as one might say. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. What do you think? Out of the cliffhanger stories, which one do you
Out There
think
would
would be?
work as a television show.
No, specifically the cliffhanger ones.
Yeah, Out
Which
There
one
is
do you
cliffhanger,
think?
dude.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
The original
original
three.
three cliffhanger
All
books.
right, not the sequels or not the steampunk
No, because
one.
that's not them. We're talking about
The original
the
trio.
three.
All right.
Which one do you think would be the most successful franchise if they made them live action?
Honestly, like if they did Danger Girl in the same line or same, I guess similar vibe-ish as like Kingsman,
Mm-hmm.
it would be cool.
Like pick very young girls, like teenagers.
No, no, in a way where I'm like the feeling of the film, the tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
I could
like,
see that.
because I think it'd be really cool. Like
They can't
just
do
that.
the corny wire foo
No,
shit
no, no.
though.
Of
Like,
course not. Of course not. Of course not. It would
'cause
be
I
taken.
think
Like, have you seen Man from Uncle?
no, I still haven't.
Okay, because that's a good film. Like, it's a fun film. It's also like Guy Ritchie, I think that film. Dang.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, that film was cool. Like, you do something like that with Danger Girl, I think it'd be rad. And
Hmm.
success, like Crimson is tricky because it has to, like, if Crimson is done really well, then it could be amazing. Although,
Right.
how are people okay with vampire stuff now? Is the thing. How are people with
It's a
vampire
tough
stuff?
sell for sure.
You know, because like if they're like a little drained out,
It,
because like, did you hear that James Wan is gonna produce a Resident Evil franchise movie reboot?
oh
They're
no,
already
I didn't know
rebooting
that.
Resident Evil movies, and I'm like, the last one just came out this year.
Yeah, but I think that that's one that's easily rebooted if they go.
Right,
But now let's make it like the games.
that's true. That's true. And James Wan, he does horror films, so I'm like, cool. If you
Right.
can get anybody, get him.
That sounds to me more like he could be making what the first Resident Evil was, which is just like a dude in a house. There's creepy shit everywhere.
I'd be down for that. But
Yeah.
like, in terms of like the original cliffhanger stuff, Battle Chasers, it would look cool, but that's so tough, especially with a story that's not even finished. I know they made a game of it, but whatever.
The game has to have an end, so I'm sure they could
I
base it on that.
guess.
And he
I don't know.
supposedly is going to finish the book now.
Cool.
Did the game actually
I'll
come out?
no.
Did it not? I don't even know.
With the game?
Yeah.
I think the game is out.
Is it? I don't even know. I feel like I would have tried to play it if it was out, but maybe I just missed
I don't
it.
know if you. I don't know if you'd like the gameplay though.
I don't know that I would either, but I like Battle Chasers enough to find out.
Yeah, that's true.
I watched it at
PAX.
PAX when we were there, and it looked
Yeah.
cool enough visually for me to.
I mean, the characters alone is neat.
All right.
It's tricky there because his style is so specific that will it translate well in a live action film, or will it be better as a CG?
I don't know. Like clearly the characters are not going to be the same, but
Right.
like Warcraft, they tried to do the big bulky armor thing. I didn't see
Yeah,
the
they
movie,
did.
so I don't know how well it worked. But
I like that. I think visually they look cool. Again, because like there you go. You brought up Warcraft. Now, the tone of Battle Chasers I'd assume it'd be closest to that
tone of it.
in terms of the way it looks and stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how well sword and sorcery stuff does well in the cinema, unless you're like Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Like the
Lord of the Rings
Hobbits do
definitely
amazing.
cool. I think they did, but I don't know. I didn't see them.
They're also a much larger property than Battle Chasers is.
Oh yeah.
So I feel Danger Girl, if anything, would probably be do well.
I think now is the perfect time for it. They've got so many girls rushing out to see all these new properties, man. People
And
should
that
be
one,
taking
it's not like
advantage
they're
of that.
pandering because it was made that way.
Right.
It
Well,
ain't
I don't
like,
know if it was necessarily like him going, "I'm gonna make a thing for girls."
oh no,
I
no,
think
no,
he
no.
was like, "I want to draw hot girls."
Absolutely. Like he did it for those reasons, you know. I like the 60 girls, like the girls from the 60s and those pulp things. So let's just
Right.
make them the lead instead of like have James Bond, because you have your James Bond type character in the film as well.
Right.
I think that one would be perfect for it. I'd like that. I'd watch that. Give me that.
Yeah, I'm down for a
Instead
Danger Girl
of
movie.
Charlie's Angels, just do Danger Girl.
Let's do it, Hollywood.
For real, because at this point, you're not like people aren't gonna complain because it's like, oh, another reboot of something. It's like, let's just adapt something that's never been done. That's been done in a book form before. This could be good. I'd love a Crimson, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm with you there. I'd love a Crimson live action film, but that's a lot of work.
I'd like a Crimson like one-shot series. Like literally make it
like a Netflix, like a season.
Right. Like I think make it either 12 or 24 episodes, but self-contained, one and done. Because Crimson has a definitive end.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a definitive end, but also let the story breathe and show.
I think a 2-season Netflix.
2 seasons? Two 12-episode seasons?
Yeah, absolutely. 2 12-episode seasons. Because
totally
Netflix, it feels like they can do more things with a Netflix than they can with, like, say, on a CW or some shit.
Doesn't take much to convince me, man. Sign me up. I'm good.
Yeah. Give us that, and then give us the live-action Danger Girl movies.
Yep.
Good. Battle Chasers, you can have an anime if you want.
That would be probably the better way to do it, honestly.
Yeah. Like, if it's not like a hand-drawn anime, do it like you did Gantz.
Dude, Battle Chasers like Gantz would be sick, but so many anime would be dope.
I know, dude.
That way.
The Gantz one. Give me One Punch Man like that. Give me Dragon Ball like that.
Dragon Ball, man.
Give me Dragon Ball like that, and I swear, I'd be like, sweet, finally, let's do this.
Yeah, and then Dragon Ball One Punch Man crossover.
Lynette Velasco on the chat says, I heard Kevin Smith is making a second Jay and Silent Bob movie that makes fun of all this reboot movie business.
He is, in fact, doing that. It is Jay.
I did not know it was about it was about poking fun at reboots.
Yeah, I think it's called Jay and Silent Bob's reboot movie or something like that.
But they're so old.
Right. I think that there will be. I mean, it's a reboot though, so I think it'll be a reboot of. From what I understand about it, it's supposed to be about them doing a reboot of the Blunt Man and Chronic movie that.
Okay, cool.
Back. So it's not like them trying to be them or whatever, but it's them trying to prevent another shitty reboot that like.
The Jay and Silent Bob.
Like the source material. Yeah. That's
great.
Yeah, it seemed like a fun idea.
I like the Jay and Silent Bob movie.
I love that fucking movie, dude. Like,
so if it's anything like that, and I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it.
Yeah, if it's anything like that, then sign me up for it. What do I draw? Do I draw anything now?
Why not? Be a man. Do the right thing.
I already finished something.
Something for funsies.
Do we have anything else in the notes? I think that was all.
I think that's all in the notes. Now we're just kind of hanging out.
Cool. Oh, I got an email.
Oh, speaking of that.
What's up?
Not that, but speaking of things. Did you see the new skins for Overwatch?
I did, dude. Genji is the dope.
That fucking
I saw the Genji and I was like,
hot, dude.
That's straight Super Sentai. Give me that figure. Give me that Figma right now or some shit.
Yeah, it's even called Sentai is the name of the outfit.
Of course, he looked legit, and I was like, oh, it's almost like they ripped the design from my head and just popped it on there.
Yeah, I fucking love it, dude.
I was like, for that outfit. The colorway as well. I'm like, green, that's good.
Yeah,
he just looks cool. He just looks super cool.
I loved it.
I was just like, they knew it. They know it. I'd love that'd be so fun to do, man. Like designing bloody skins.
Yeah, that would be tight. You should hit him up. You got fucking contacts over there.
No, not like that.
Come on, that'd be legitimate.
Okay, Andrew Bishop. Okay, wait. First,
Yeah.
King Kuma said, did we see the new Castlevania trailer? You haven't. I have. I thought it looked fine. I mean, it's out in July and it's on Netflix, so I'll probably check out the first episode. If it doesn't gel well with me, then that's it. That's how it works.
I was never big on the game.
Likewise, I wasn't a big gamer on that. But I mean, the trailer looked fine. What's that producer's guy's name? The guy with the guy who made that fake Power Rangers trailer.
Ari, not Ari. What is his name? I can't think of it. I know who you're talking about. What is that?
Right. He's producing this.
The
and he
the
talks,
Castlevania thing?
Yeah. He talks a lot. So, but obviously he loves the property. So who knows? Again, I'll give the first episode a shot. First 2 episodes, and if I don't really care, then like many things, I'll just not continue. It's really that's like I don't know. It's there. It's crazy because it's on Netflix, so it's already there. I could just hop on there, have it play on the background, no problem while I'm working. Yeah. But to me, even that is more effort than it needs from me.
Just because it's available doesn't mean you need to watch it.
Exactly. I think that's it. Like, as I'm getting older, I'm just like, I don't have time for this.
It was seriously just this year, man.
Addy Shankar, that's his name. Thank you, Andrew Bishop.
There's just too much shit to see, man. There's too much content. I can't keep up with it. So even shit I'm like interested in, some of it I just can't watch. At least not right away.
Yeah. Not even like maybe down the road sometime. Maybe.
Right.
But I can't even guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Lynette, yes, that was the Homestar Runner email alert. Andrew Bishop asked, is there someone who you would have preferred other than Tom Hardy as Venom?
It very much depends on
what they're going for.
Which version of Venom we're getting.
Right.
If it was going to be like a Flash Thompson thing, then that's not who I would have picked because that's not at all how I imagined.
That's true.
Flash Thompson. But it's also not how I imagine Eddie Brock. I think we're getting some sort of my guess is we're getting some sort of hybrid.
Mm-hmm. It's a hybrid.
Again, that's not been said anywhere, so I don't know that is the case. It's just what I'm guessing.
That's what I feel they're going with based on what just getting him as just casting him. It feels like that's what they're doing.
Right. Based on what information is available, it seems like the way to go.
I'm fine with it. Who all right, who would you have what would you have gone for? All right, let's imagine Eddie Brock in this current Spider-Man universe that we're getting with the crossover with Marvel, that movie. Yeah. Who would you cast as Eddie Brock there? Let's say he's a college student because he is older than Peter.
Right.
Who would you?
A college student that is older than Peter. It's hard to say, man. I just don't know enough young actors, but I feel like, it's tough. I don't know. I don't know who I would have cast. I would have had to have had all of the same things available to Sony and Marvel to try and figure it out.
Like,
I just
there's no movies recently where there was a teenage actor you were like, oh, he could be good as an Eddie Brock.
That storyline is not even on my radar of stuff they were going to do. I'm like, you have to introduce the black suit and the shit still. They're not going to be doing Venom anytime soon. Oh, it turns out they're gonna do Venom.
Oh, it turns out it's going to be a spin-off movie. Oh, it turns out it's not even going to be related. They're
We
just
don't
doing
know
all these
that
things.
for
Right,
sure yet.
based on what they're saying.
They've not said though.
Based on assumption, really? Is this all an assumption?
As far as I am aware, yes. This is like people reading into what is being said because there's nothing being said about how Spider-Man will be involved. People are like, then it's a thing. It's not going to be related.
That's crazy that we're not given any information.
I think right now they probably don't know exactly what's going on with
it. It's going to be planned for a 2018 release. That's nuts.
I mean, they probably don't know as far as how it's going to be connected to the MCU. I'm sure they know they're going to make it either way.
Is a year? It feels in my head like a year isn't enough time.
It is quick, but
unless they don't require, unless this film's not going to require a lot of like post-production.
Oh, I can't imagine how it won't. I can't imagine how it won't. It's a big fucking monster with a big flappy jaw, but maybe they figured out a cheap way to do that. I have no idea.
Maybe. Michael Temple asked, have we talked about Injustice 2 yet? You have briefly last episode.
We did on the last episode.
Michael, check out the last episode. We briefly talked about it there.
I tried to get Jeff to think about watching it.
Oh yeah, you gave me a link. I have yet to check it. I might check it out later while I'm working.
Yeah, because I think it's one of the best DC movies that
DC's made. That's not a movie. Is it the same level of quality that the animated films are? Oh, it is an animated film at this point.
Yeah, to me, yes. It's an odd thing. Some of it is odd in comparison to that because its focus is around getting them in situations where they can have one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat fights,
right?
Which is not always going to be the case when you're
just working with those characters, right?
Yeah. So, it's not typical in comparison to those things, but I think it was an enjoyable watch for sure. Easily.
You mean playthrough?
I watched the movie version as well.
Oh, okay. But you played through it, correct?
Yeah, I played through the game, but I also watched the straight cut of it just to see how much different it is. And it's just an enjoyable watch to me. I'm curious what you'll think of it after viewing it properly.
Yeah, I'll let you know when that's done. How long does it go for? Like a couple hours? 2 hours?
Yeah, I think it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes or something. Yeah, it's basically like watching a movie. It's just when you're playing the game, it's a bit longer because you have to actually do all the fighting.
You have to play the game.
Yeah.
And I don't play the game, so this will be good.
Yeah, I think for that kind of thing, just watching it as itself, it works surprisingly well. And because the in-game models, like you think like old school cutscenes, they have models just for doing the acting and yada yada, but these are the same models that you're using to fight with, and then they'll cut to like a close-up on a motherfucker, and it looks
like them
crazy to me. It's the most like when you're playing it, it looks and feels like actual actors playing the characters, even though all the faces, as far as I can tell, are not real people faces. They kind of look like amalgams, we were saying on the last episode. They kind of look like mixtures between real actors to kind of make hybrid faces, because everybody kind of looks familiar to you, but you can't really place them all. Like Catwoman, Super Duper, to me at least, and Kanoi looked like Alyssa Milano. And to me, the Black Canary character looks like a weird hybrid between somebody and Kristen Bell. She has a very Kristen Bell face.
Which you're okay with.
Right, which I'm okay with. I'm a fan of hers. Fuck Dax forever. But yeah, man, it looked cool to me.
Michael Temple also asked, what do you guys think about Tom Holland cast as the Nathan Drake?
You just missed us talking about that.
You just missed us, Michael. It's this episode we talked about it also.
I think it's interesting. I wonder if it's a thing where he's gonna be the primary focus for the story in general, or if he's just playing Nathan in a flashback of some sort. Maybe that's what Andrew was talking about earlier when he said it was going to be like an episode of Arrow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious about it. I like those games, so
that's essentially the. I guess you would basically treat them like the modern Indiana Jones films, right?
I mean, there are adventure films like that, but the character is nothing like.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Like in terms of like the vibe of the film, yeah. Like not the character, just
adventure movies looking for relics and shit. Yeah, it's like that. Could be cool. I mean, I like the idea of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake more than I liked the idea of Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake. I don't necessarily have anything against Mark Wahlberg, but he's just not at all what I imagined. I always imagined more of like a Nathan Fillion type, because
right, just a younger Nathan Fillion is exactly him.
But now Nathan Fillion's an old dude, so
he could be an old Nathan Drake.
He could. I mean, the last game was kind of that story of him getting older, but I think Nathan Fillion is older than old Nathan Drake was. So,
oh yeah, no doubt.
What are you gonna do? Unfortunately, like I feel like one of the people who could have played them best is somebody like Chris Pratt or Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
But and hey, maybe they still could, because if they get a Tom Holland type, then it obviously doesn't matter.
You know what though?
Franchise under his belt.
I just saw a trailer for this is one in the show notes. It was a random trailer that I was, because I watched the international Japanese trailer for Spider-Man, and then on the link on the side they had a film called Revolt.
Okay.
And it has Lee Pace in it. Lee Pace was what's the villain's name in Guardians 1? Ronan. He played Ronan.
Okay.
And it had him in it, and him in this Revolt trailer. I was like, he could probably be Nathan Drake. Because
I know I've seen that dude before.
He actually because he auditioned for Star-Lord.
Right.
And he just lost out to Chris Pratt. But obviously they liked him, so they cast him as Ronan. He's very versatile in his acting. So I used to watch him in a show called Pushing Daisies. Love that show.
Gotcha.
But I was like, let's get him in some of these films. Could probably pull it off. Get a face that's, I guess, fairly unknown. Yeah, Drew agrees with me. Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies. That's a show he's on?
That's what yeah. Andrew Bishop is on the chat is agreeing with me. But yeah, I'd say get Lee Pace to be an older Nathan Drake. That's who I'll say.
Look at Lee Pace.
Check out the trailer for Revolt as well. It looks pretty neat. It's about like aliens invading, and I thought it was like, oh no, another one of these films. But it's a UK South African production.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
I'm looking at him
in Pushing Daisies. He was much smaller. Obviously, he had to bulk up for Ronan.
He reminds me of someone else, and I can't place who it is. But that's an interesting choice. I don't hate it.
No, again, like it's probably not your people's first go-to, but I usually like that because usually the first people, like he wouldn't be the first person that people would think of.
Right, and I also think he's kind of obscure enough to where you can buy him as this like
exactly like when he's that character, you'd be like, oh, that's the character. He's not just that actor being this character. Like, as much as it would be great to see like Chris Pratt, he's in a lot of things.
Right, he's Chris Pratt now.
He's Chris Pratt now, you know, and good for him because that's awesome. But then his character would be too close to whatever he's playing in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
To an extent, and you don't need that.
I think they definitely gave him a drier wit in that movie.
Absolutely. But do you know what I'm saying? How it'd be very close.
Yeah, it's easy to see how that character could easily spin off into a movie that's like Uncharted.
Right. And that's why if you're gonna do Uncharted with Nathan Drake, cast. That's why I thought of Lee Pace. I was like, cast a guy who also was in the running for Star-Lord.
For sure. I don't know. Some of these shots, he looks like a hybrid of like Tom Hiddleston and Edward Norton to me. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see that. He's much bigger now, though.
This picture, he fully looks like Ed Norton to me.
Check out the trailer for Revolt. I'll need to link. I should have linked it actually.
Can you see that on my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Like when Ed Norton is about to Hulk out at the end of Incredible Hulk,
yeah,
like
I believe it.
Smiles at the camera.
I'd get him though.
Sure, I'm down. Whatever.
Yeah, some like a more obscure face, someone that you're not really familiar with, but who has starred in a lot of films. He was in freaking. He was in the Hobbit movies. He was in what was it? The Twilight films, I think.
Was he?
He was one of the vampires. A lot of people were in those Twilight films though.
He was.
Michael Sheen was in Twilight.
I remember him.
But again, he was also Ronan.
I do remember him in Twilight. That's hilarious.
But yeah, I think get him. He'd be good.
He looked like weird Nicolas Cage in that movie.
There you go. You can look like multiple different guys without being them.
Well, maybe I just think all white people look the same.
Yeah, you could just think that. You might just be thinking that.
That's definitely not true. I wouldn't be able to watch anything because they're everywhere.
Nah, you'd be like, why is he this one? Why does Spider-Man look like Mad Max? Why is Bane Mad Max? No, that is the same.
That's another part of it, man. Don't do a funny voice. Don't do a funny voice, Tom Hardy.
What? Don't speak like Bane. That's the best if Bane spoke.
No, it's not the best. I don't like it at all.
Beautiful voice. Peter Parker.
No, I don't like it at all.
Michael Temple asks, what is your top Marvel trailer you are looking forward to seeing? Mine is Black Panther. After seeing the concept art, it completely blew me away.
I want to see Black Panther very much, but there is no way it even kind of holds a fucking candle to how much I want to see the trailer for Infinity War. Whatever the shit that movie's going to be.
Yeah.
Show me that fucking trailer.
To me, that's a given. Infinity War, no doubt. I want to see that trailer immediately. But I want to see like even concept art to what Captain Marvel's going to look like.
I think they've put out concept art.
But I want to see her in like a possible suit. I want to see. But then you reckon we'll see anything of her in Infinity?
Motherfucker, yeah, she's supposed to debut in Infinity Part 1.
You think they'll show us her in the trailer?
I don't know. I think she might be like the vision of that movie, and
so they're hiding it. Yep.
Final trailer, we'll see her in the suit, and we'll go, oh, and it'll be like for a quick second, and everybody will be like, oh, buckets! And
I gotta clean my pants again.
Right. And then we'll have to wait for the rest. And then in TV spots, we'll see her flying around and punching people because by then they show everything.
She can fight Hulk like easy.
Right. They kept saying she is the most powerful character that we will have seen in the movies. And I just don't know how that is possible after seeing the most recent Guardians movie. No, Guardians.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I don't know how you get more powerful than that right now. I mean, they know something I don't know, then sure. Or maybe that was before they had gotten fully like aware of what Guardians was going to be. Maybe they didn't know
Maybe.
yet, because I
Maybe.
know a couple of those characters were late acquisitions.
Spoiler for
So-
Guardians, by the way. If you're gonna say
I haven't said
anything,
shit. I haven't said
Okay.
shit.
I was gonna say in case you're
I'm
gonna
a
say.
powerful person.
Okay, we're not gonna spoil anything then, so you guys are safe.
No. So
But-
you know,
Also, if she's supposed to be the most powerful we've seen so far, does that include both hero and villain?
Kevin Feige just said she's supposed to be the most powerful that we've seen. So I don't know if that. I mean, she's got to fight somebody. So obviously, whoever her villain is.
How about if she takes down Thanos? That's weird.
I mean, I don't think any single person is going to be taken down.
Nah,
Thanos, so
that's-
that would
yeah,
be a
that'd be
waste of
nuts,
all of
yeah.
our time.
We're like, cool. You should have just got Hulk.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't think any single person's going to be doing that, but we'll certainly see.
But in terms of trailer, looking forward to Infinities.
Yeah, Infinity War for me, just because I know the least about what that movie is going to be, and they keep
Yep.
saying it's going to be Nuck and Futz. Like, as much as I really want to see stuff about Black Panther, in my head, I feel like I kind of know what Black Panther is going to be. Like, you know, they're going to have stuff that is not going to be on my radar, clearly, but I mean, as far as the concept of what Black Panther is as a movie, we saw Black Panther in Civil War, so I imagine it will be like that, except for he's the main character.
Right.
Whereas in Infinity War, like, we've gotten little glimpses of Thanos talking shit, but we have no idea what that dude is capable of. We know he's real mean to his daughters, but we have no idea
Yeah, he's a bit of a
what
bastard.
he's capable of. So, you know, I think that's the one. Because of that, I think that is the one I'm most curious about.
Plus, it's essentially a culmination of everything.
Right, of everything that we've seen so far.
So that alone gets me like, yes, this has to. Is it going to live up to this hype that they've built up for what they've made? Who knows?
Honestly, I don't know how it could, but it doesn't make me not want to see it.
Absolutely, it's filmed IMAX. Let's give that a shot.
Yeah, like that by itself, I'm like, this movie's gonna be nanners, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I saw Doctor Strange in IMAX. Do not at all regret it.
I missed
that shit
it.
was bananas.
I'm sad because I missed it.
I saw Guardians IMAX 3D. That shit was nanners. Do not regret it. I will be seeing Spider-Man that way as well.
Are we?
So, oh yeah, of course. I mean, we'll be seeing
Which one is it?
We'll be seeing it probably more than one time. So,
Oh yeah. But like, which time will we see that in IMAX?
oh, I always go that first.
Okay, so yeah, everything else afterwards is
Get the full crazy experience, and then go
That's
back
true.
later and see it again in 2D,
that's true.
so I can see if I missed out on anything color wise or yada yada.
What is the release date of Infinity?
I think it's like May 4th next year.
I might be in the US for that.
Yeah, that's pretty early for you.
Maybe, yeah. I have to see. That's why, because I think there's something happening then that I have. So I have to like kind of reschedule my next year's trip so that it's pushed earlier.
Right.
But I think
not
I
be able
might.
to do PAX.
Yeah, no, I'm missing out on PAX. I know that much already. But
Okay.
I'll have to look at dates to see if that's gonna happen or not. But I think that should wrap up this episode. We've been going for almost 2 hours.
Thug life.
I know, man. That's a pretty long one. Thanks for joining us, guys. Yeah, it's a fun weekly thing that we do. So, I think we have to not next week. Yeah. Sometime later this month. No, sometimes later next month we're gonna have to do it like a day earlier or something.
Oh, because you leave or something?
Yeah. Because actually, let me check what day I have to leave. Yep, we have to do it a day earlier.
Okay.
Yep. But we'll get to that. We'll speak to that when it gets to there. So thanks for joining us, folks. Sign us off, Royce. You got this.
All right, guys, to all who came and hung out for a minute, very much appreciate your time. I hope to see you next Wednesday at 7:30 PST PM clock.
Yep.
And whatever that time equates to in your area, we will be drawing some shit, most likely related to whatever we're talking about again, as that was fun to do. And until the next one, guys, stay chipper chaps.
Stay chipper. Let's stop the broadcast.